Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today some Call of Duty Black Ops 3 playing the beta, and what we're going to be doing with this video is actually discussing the marketing strategy that Call of Duty has implemented for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. They've taken a lot of steps to make this marketing campaign very outside of the box. It's very unorthodox compared to how most games are advertised. You start by making it so everybody needs to add them on Snapchat, which was interesting. They added the add Snapchat logo thing in Black Ops 2 where people could add them right from the game, and then they started sending out a bunch of teasers, and we saw so many of those, which really didn't seem to make a lot of sense, and they're still kind of a little bit blurry as to what a lot of those things actually meant, but it was a very interesting way for them to try and get the community involved with their campaign, because they wanted to learn more about it. Every time these Snapchats came out, people went right online to YouTube, they went to forums, they wanted to discuss what it possibly meant, what they saw in there, were there secret codes in there, they were changing the colors of the Snapchats that were being sent out, because sometimes it would reveal secret messages and stuff. It was a very interesting way for them to go about doing things. Of course, they were actually sending out t-shirts to random celebrities, it seemed like, who were wearing Black Ops 3 t-shirts back before it was confirmed to be Black Ops 3, and they just had a lot of very interesting things where they would basically have a bunch of hidden secret, almost Black Ops stealthy style stuff going on. It was very interesting. Well, recently, and we saw a video earlier today where they actually gave us a trailer for the campaign, which kind of answered some of our questions and gave us an idea of what the campaign is going to be like. But before they did that, the kind of leading up until that release of that trailer, the Call of Duty Twitter page started putting out false terrorist reports, and basically what they wanted to do with this was they kind of disguise themselves. You see a lot of things do this. The Borderlands Twitter page does this as well. Well, they will pretend like a particular character from the Borderlands series has taken over their Twitter, and they change the name of their Twitter, and they change their picture and whatnot, and all the tweets are supposed to be, you know, kind of referenced as if they were from that particular person. Well, they did the same thing for the Call of Duty Twitter, and they basically made it so they were kind of like this fake news site. They started putting out some very interesting tweets. I'm going to start showing you guys some of these tweets here in this video in case you don't actually see these, because it's actually gotten a lot of controversy as a very irresponsible way to advertise your game. The first tweet we're going to be looking at here is breaking news: unconfirmed reports are coming in off of an explosion on the north bank of the Singapore Marina, which is a real place. Kind of scared some people, and they followed it up with this tweet that says the cause of the explosion is unknown, but large plumes of dark smoke have been seen rising from the site, and it comes along with a picture here which kind of looks real. This is obviously like from their cinematic team. This is all part of the game. Like, this isn't the actual Singapore Marina, but it's kind of scary. People thought like, wait, what is this? They weren't. Some people realized this was like advertising for the campaign, but a lot of people didn't understand that, and they kind of thought they're like making like terrorist reports, like they're reporting news that there is terrorist stuff happening in Singapore. City authorities urge the public not to panic, and to not hinder the emergency teams that are converging on the area. Update: sources confirm the explosion took place at Singapore Research Laboratories belonging to the Coalescence Corporation. Then you get a picture of that, and you see a nice little explosion right there, which kind of looks like it's very obvious to me anyway that's from a game, but some people didn't understand that it was actually from the game, which scared a lot of people. Then they have a bunch of other kind of like tweets talking about roadblocks, kind of really setting the scene. And again, there's really no context to any of this. Update: Singapore authorities have officially announced a state of emergency and declared martial law. Freaked out a lot of people. People did not like that. People were like, oh, I was about to vacation there, which was kind of a joke. Some people were like, what in the actual fuck? This guy's like, I love the false reports of international terrorism, which is exactly what this kind of was, which really kind of scared a lot of people. Military drones have been seen flocking around. That's kind of scary for a lot of people. And then you look at a lot of stuff that they had here, and you can read through these all for yourself if you would like to. You can go over to the official Twitter page of Call of Duty. It is twitter.com/Call of Duty. And then at the very end, if we scroll all the way up here to the top, the state of martial law has been declared, and they show pictures of it and whatnot. Actually, let's get the picture for you right here. You see a picture right there. These are a lot of things that we saw via Snapchats. And at the very end, after like everybody started really freaking out about all this stuff, this was a glimpse into the future fiction of Black Ops 3, because it all kind of looked real, and they changed their Twitter name and their profile to make themselves not look like a news site anymore. And yeah, it was just a very interesting way for them to market their game. You got to give credit to Treyarch. You got to give credit to Call of Duty for taking some steps outside of your traditional, here's a commercial, you know, you got outside of like, here's a magazine interview, things like that, stuff that we've seen in traditional media. They've tried a lot of different things, which is obviously a good thing. I think it's neat that they're trying out new stuff, but I think this here might have been a little bit over the top, maybe? I don't know. It freaked out a lot of people. I understood that, you know, it was all like fake, you know, because the Borderlands Twitter does the same thing, but they don't actually make claims of terrorism at real life places. You know, whenever the Borderlands Twitter page does this kind of a thing, they always talk about Pandora and like the world of the Borderlands is set in. Well, Call of Duty is supposedly set in our world. Of course, it's like an alternate reality. It's a fictional world, but it's our world. And so when they start talking about Singapore being attacked by terrorists and like having terrorism happening there and then police riots and having all this stuff happening there without giving any real context to it, it's maybe a bit irresponsible. Obviously, nothing bad's happening in Singapore right now. Everything is fine. This is all fictional, but you know, it was just a very interesting way for them to actually go ahead and market their game. Today, they did something a bit more usual. They released a trailer for the campaign, which might have made a little bit more sense for them to go ahead and do that. And so we, of course, got to see the trailer. We got to see some of the characters and get an idea of what the story is going to be like. But I just thought it was interesting that they ended up doing something along these lines. And do you guys think they kind of went over the line? Do you think it was A-okay? Because for me personally, I'm used to seeing this kind of stuff. I'm used to seeing it. That the Borderlands Twitter does it. A lot of Twitter pages do it. It's a kind of way that people like to advertise. Now it's a new way, obviously. It's new media. But that's how some people like to advertise. It's how some companies like to advertise. And the Call of Duty tried it. And I think, for my taste, I'm okay with that style of advertising, but I don't think it's okay at the same time to kind of be making it talk about real life places like Singapore and whatnot. Like if they would have did this in the United States, like for example, what if they were not talking about the United States? They would actually freak out. It'd be kind of scary. Singapore was actually trending on Twitter a bit yesterday as a result of this because so many people thought that they were actually under attack because the Call of Duty Twitter page does have 2.8 million followers. So it kind of became a big deal pretty quickly. And I can't imagine if they would have said something along the lines of San Francisco, you know, they would have said something along the lines of like any city in the United States saying that was under attack, then we'd probably be in real trouble. And a lot of people probably would have made a bigger deal about it than they did when they thought it was just Singapore. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude my little discussion video. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this kind of advertising, and what do you think about the Black Ops 3 trailer? I know I got a lot of feedback on that on the previous video, but I'm just interested what you guys think about the Call of Duty campaign, because this is a campaign that they're really pushing. I don't think the Call of Duty games ever actually pushed a campaign as hard as Treyarch is pushing the campaign for Call of Duty Black Ops 3, even though people on the Xbox 360 and people on the PlayStation 3 will not be able to experience the campaign because it won't be coming to those platforms. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys all found it helpful, informative, and entertaining. If you did, remember to leave a rating, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.
CDP, all objectives secured. Great job.
Only strength, only victory.